The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah!
Go Cowboys!
Let's go, baby!
Are you ready for a break?
Yes.
Are you ready for a break?
Absolutely.
Ready for a break?
Yeah, and so much for that.
It's time for The Break on DallasCowboys.com.
We were on the break!
With Ambar Garcia, Bryan Broaddus, Voch Lombardi, and Derek Eagleton.
It is Tuesday, September 16th, 2025, Season 21, Episode number 38. Welcome to the latest edition of The Break. We are live from SWBC Mortgage Studios at the start, presented by LG. LG is the world's #1 OLED TV brand for 11 years and counting. See why at LG.com/OLED Evo. It is Tuesday. It is a big picture day. We start moving the topics away from the previous game and into the next game, but we have a little day here where we can kind of reevaluate and look at some big picture stuff. Brian has some questions. We will dive inside the brain of Bryan Broaddus. If you guys remember from last year, that's a segment we do on Tuesday. So Brian has some questions for us in the second segment. We'll start though first today talking about a couple housekeeping things. Cowboys yesterday make it official in the signing of Jadeveon Clowney. Looking at the money, do you guys think this is a good move for the Cowboys and what he can bring to the team?
I just knew that this was going to be, and look, when I say I knew, that means I had no idea that it was going to be like a 1 year, 1 million thing, and maybe Clowney.
Hold on. Since you said I had no idea, that reminded me of something. Let me just get it off my chest.
Please.
I know we're running behind. We're late on the show.
No, we on time.
Wait, yesterday I wasn't here.
Script. What are you doing?
What?
This is not the script. What are you doing?
Ain't no script. What happened? Go ahead. What happened? Ain't no script.
No, I didn't get a chance to get on the show yesterday.
Well, you should have been on the show.
I know.
That's on you.
Was working on some other things, but I just wanted to get it off my chest.
Derek on the edge don't play today.
The whole time watching that game, I'm like, how about that, Voch? How about that?
What I say? What I do?
The whole week.
Oh, this is a fight I didn't know what happened.
The whole week.
Right.
Talking about the Giants and poo-poo.
Yeah,
That's all.
sure.
That's all he said the whole week.
Well, to be
That's all he
fair,
said.
to be
but
fair.
I'm just saying, obviously happy the Cowboys won in the way that they did. But again, once again, do not underestimate NFL teams.
Ambarita. Listen, lady.
Listen, lady.
I was half right. There was 40 points delivered.
They're going to score 6 points.
I'm not responsible.
37.
I'm not responsible for the defense coordinator. They pay him a different amount of money to call the plays. If they paid me to call the plays, it may have been closer to 6 or 12 or 10 points.
You get paid to give a proper analysis.
I get paid to guess and project.
And then you start brainwashing me into thinking, oh, easy peasy. I went to that game. And I'm not easily brainwashed, by the way.
You call it brainwashing, but if your mind is dirty, you clean it, correct?
I went into that day expecting a chill day.
Well,
Little did I know what the end result was going to
Bryan,
be.
can you give Ambar Floof's number so she can fuss directly at him and not at me? Derek Eagleton, the host of the show that's in charge of all of this, asked me about Jadeveon Clowney.
Yes, I did.
And in my mind, he asked if it was a good deal or not. I thought that it was going to be 1 year, 10 mil, because that's what I think these deals kind of sound like. But I assumed that after the bad pass rush performance, right, Ambar Garcia? The bad pass rush performance,
right.
I thought Clowney was going to sit back and rub his hand and try to squeeze 15 out of Steven. I was actually shocked that it was 2 years. 1 year, 3 could be 6.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic deal for the Cowboys there.
Yeah, and hopefully things, Adam Pacifica and those guys, you got to give Adam and Todd Williams and those guys a lot of credit for, taking it had been really, really difficult for them. It had been difficult for Cowboy fans to sit back and watch and see, okay, the Micah Parsons money, they're doing absolutely nothing with it, but they've been super aggressive at trying to get their own sign. They go out and they get Clowney. They identify maybe an issue that we didn't really think about coming out of camp. We're talking about these edge rushers, and we're saying, strength of the team, pass rush. They're going to find a way to put pressures together and put sacks together and stuff like that, and everything is going to be fine. Through 2 games, it hasn't been fine. And so, tip of the cap to the front office for getting this thing done. We'll see what Clowney does. We'll see, if you're expecting the guy from 5-6 years ago, that might not be the case. But a guy that's could be a physical player at the point of attack, plays the run well. can occasionally give you some pass rush. Those things are all still in play for you because you are absolutely struggling right now to get pressure, at least through the first 2 games of this season. And what makes it even more difficult, Ambar, is the fact that the Giants were not a good offensive line when it came to protection. There has to be some concern about that. There has to be some concern. And the fact that Dallas didn't have the success other than the Sam Williams, when they did have success, the Sam Williams play really was the difference in this game. His ability to get pressure on Russell Wilson forced an interception, and that turned the game in your favor. So, yeah, there's a big reason and a lot of hope that Clowney could come in and give you some of this stuff, much like Kenny Clark is coming and giving you something as a defensive tackle.
Well, and along with that, Jerry on The Fan this morning mentioned with Siobhan Revel, he's another guy, different position, but obviously defense. But he's expecting, sounds like he might be returning a lot sooner than we thought. I mean, in a couple of weeks, maybe he starts making his way back in. I think I heard around week 5, so that's right around the corner. And then also Deron Bland apparently is another one that's trending upwards to coming back on the field. So that's 2 cornerbacks that hopefully just helps you elevate. Again, different positions there. We're talking about rushing the quarterback, but we know that you need help at every position on defense to kind of take it to the next level.
Yeah, and kind of circling back to the things we did talk about yesterday, you know, coaches always talk about putting players in position to have success. You know, we're very critical of some of these players. We need to be critical of the coaching staff.
Sure.
You have to have an understanding of what your guys can and cannot do. I think that we're seeing some of that on the offensive side of the ball, you know, with Brian Schottenheimer, how they got Pickens involved. But you've got to understand, if you're going to play a certain coverage, make sure that you have the guys that are more capable of playing it at that kind of level that you want to play at in position. I think it's very difficult. And, you know, the thing with Donovan Wilson, when you go back and watch the game, you know, he is going to take a lot of blame. But if you watch the way Donovan Wilson has made a career with your Dallas Cowboys, it's always been playing downhill. Mm-hmm. It's always filling in the run. It's always carrying everything in front of him, whether it's crossing routes, blitzing, anything like that. That's kind of been Donovan Wilson's game. He's not a cover 2 safety. It's just not. And I hope that the staff kind of said, okay, well, we made a mistake there, kind of like what happened with Chaz Green several years ago, that Jason Garrett came out and said, we made a mistake there. Maybe you'll see guys in different positions this week. Hopefully so. If not, you'll continue to give up big plays. You know,
it's interesting, Brian. I agree certainly from the standpoint about Donovan Wilson. The one area that, as I went back and watched the game, that really concerned me even more than that were were a few, not only that, but there were a few times in that game where my corners, my outside corners, were kind of in, even though they were playing zone, they were playing a deep third or deep quarter. And they were responsible for basically it was like man coverage because they had to carry the guy downfield, and they just got beat. And that's the part that worries me a little bit more because that's just basic. And first of all, you know, were they coached to not try to bump the guy off the line of scrimmage? There were a lot of times guys were running and had nobody trying to stop them at the line of scrimmage. So when you give a guy just a free release to get downfield, good luck with that. Yeah. But those things being considered, I look at some of the corners and I'm a little bit concerned there. And maybe that's what they're thinking is they can get some of those guys back. But these are guys that are, even when those guys come, they're going to still be playing. And so it makes me wonder, had they fully adjusted to this new scheme and what the scheme asks of them? And maybe that's it. They just got to work into it to get a better feel for what it is versus, man, I know I just got this man. But there certainly were some things that happened from the cornerback perspective, not just the safety position, that worried me.
When you line up in cover 2, it's usually you play press and you try and funnel things to the inside. The one thing that kills the 2 deep is the vertical stuff. I mean, that's you know, that you could find spots and stuff where, but they when you have that kind of free access, I mean, I've seen cover 2 played where you get a jam at the line of scrimmage, you throw the receiver off, you throw a little timing off of the route, get the jam, and then you sink to where you need to be. But if you're giving Malik Neighbors an 8-yard run at you, and you're not a quick twitched corner and have to turn and run, and then all of a sudden you have a safety whose eyes aren't adjusted to how, okay, wait a minute, guys are running on me now. You know, that is a recipe. You saw, if you continue to play with some of these techniques and the way that they're playing or the way they're playing it right now, you're going to give up 500 yards passing every week. Teams are just going to play you that way.
You asked yesterday, Voch, does Bland being out change anything? And Bryan just made the fantastic point right there. It's all about scheme, and it's all about what Flus is asking him to do. Yeah. Boy, I hope he just gets a good look at the film and just figure out that whatever he's doing right now just ain't working, or that's not something you could do versus the Giants again, whatever you decide. But even if Bland was there, you're lining up 7 yards off, or you're not getting, things passed along on the inside. Or if you think you got help, you don't have help, right? So Bland can be more talented than Elam or whatever, but if it's all going terrible around you, then it just wouldn't even matter.
Yep. Let's talk a little bit about a couple of injuries. Cooper Beebe, we know, is going to be out now for a little bit. How much do you feel that Hoffman is capable of being able to handle this role for presumably 6 to 8 weeks of the season?
Hoffman is capable. I like Hoffman in short, couple of weeks, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, but the best thing about Hoffman is that he's not playing guard right now. I think of Hoffman differently when he's playing guard versus him playing center. If he's a guard, he has to do a lot of that big boy work by himself. At center, you got Book helping and you got Big Tyler helping. So I can deal with Brock for 6 games at center. So he's the more veteran guy here. He kind of knows everything. He just gets to step right in. Like, it's not like outside help or some rookie that you're asking to step up and do more. Hey, Grady Jarrett this week, deal with him. Hoffman has played and he's started and he's done well, but I love the fact that he's more of a center, so he gets more help.
If you allow me a little latitude here, one of my Cowboy questions for you guys today was having no BB more of a problem than having no Bland. That was a question I wanted to ask you guys today. Having no BB more of a problem than having no Bland. Where you guys stand on that?
What's 11:21? You want to get into that now, or you want to take the break or something? What you want to do, Derek?
We can take this one. We can take this one now.
Okay.
I will say this. I actually think here's what I don't know yet.
Sure.
I don't know how much BB not being there to make calls and being able to kind of manage this thing, for lack of a better word, is going to be missed with Hoffman. Now, Hoffman is a veteran player.
Sure.
So you would think that you're not going to miss that as much. And if that's the case, then I agree with Voch. I'm not as concerned about his play for now because I think for a limited amount of time, he's not going to be perfect. But BB wasn't perfect Sunday either. So I don't think it's going to be a huge drop-off. I think he'll be okay, especially at center where he can get some help. And I haven't looked at the schedule to really see how many times he's going to face guys that are going to line up right on the nose, that he's going to have to battle, a big guy there to know if there's going to be a game where that could be a real concern. But I look at Bland, and I think that right now they have some issues at cornerback, and they need all hands on deck. So for right now, until further notice, give me Bland, and I'll deal with BB being out for a minute.
I was going to say, for me, it's the same. I would rather take Bland at the moment. But here's my issue with Hoffman. Even though I like the player, I think for the center position, you need someone that's completely center, like level-headed. Excuse the pun. No pun intended is what you guys say. But just
what you trying to say about Brock?
Not lose
Brock
their
like
cool. Not lose
Brock
their
like
cool, And that's the only thing
that's a good way to put it.
That's what concerns me because we've seen it. And again, one of the attributes that I did enjoy from Hoffman last year was his aggressiveness, his ability to just go in there and be aggressive, assertive, and create that punch. But at the same time, we've seen the first 2 weeks where there have been heated moments on the field. Last thing I need is to be getting penalized for something. Oh, here comes a flag. Here's another one. We don't need that. We need him to keep his cool, do the job, don't get a little crazy out there, save that for later, maintain your aggressiveness within the rules of the game. But other than that, I think he's very much capable physically. He has it. It's just don't get penalized, please.
Brock is more annoying than Sam Williams, if that makes sense. He's closer to the annoying side than we don't know what's going to happen, right? So that's one good thing there. Honestly, if Flus is going to keep running this scheme the way that he runs it, It don't matter who's at corner. You know, you're going to have the same results as if Reddy and Weezy out there. If Flus decides, hey, man, you know, we're probably going to run a little man today. Then, all right, cool. Then Bland being back matters because now.
But you really don't think that – because, again, some of the things I saw, I think they were a matter of either they didn't really understand their assignment or they didn't have the ability to be able to carry a guy all the way downfield. And I think now Bland has his issues at times as well. We've seen him not always be where he needs to be. But I'm going to bet on the fact that the guy that I just paid a ton of money to and right now I think he's the highest paid corner on the team, that I'd be better with him on the field. So for me, I look at that and I still believe he has to be better than Weezy, Reddy, whoever else you want to throw out there.
To me, all I needed to see, and Matt, I consider Matt a really good coach. Yeah. I saw two very much 1990s Tampa 2 run the Mike linebacker through the middle of the defense and try and pick something up. Two massive plays. You know, it's one thing you have in Derek Brooks. It's another thing to have Murray, who played very, very well in this football game. Sanborn. You're asking two guys to play a Derek Brooks type position and be that guy. You know, that to me that goes back to what we were talking about a little bit. It's about knowing your personnel, and maybe it's a little bit of the scheme stuff too. He got away with the zone stuff because of what Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts cannot play against zone defense for whatever reason. He's a Super Bowl champ, but he can't play against zone defenses. It's a problem. And so this thing carried over. Now let's say, you know, you got a veteran player, a veteran quarterback who Voch put it yesterday. He's seen all this. He knows, like, listen, and their game plan had to be, okay, if you're going to sit in the zone, we're going to find where Donovan Wilson is. You know, that's just, and there was just there's no real adjustment from that. And that's troubling to me. Maybe it is the personnel. Maybe it is the coach. I think it's a little bit of everything and a little bit of no pass rush right now too.
For sure.
All right, let's take our first break. We're going to come back. We're going to dive inside the brain of Bryan Broaddus.
Oh, boy.
Scary place to be, but we're going to go there, and we're going to see how this goes. We'll be back. DallasCowboys.com radio.
If you can't be at the stadium, there's no better way to watch your Cowboys than on an LG OLED Evo TV. That's because everything you see is more lifelike. Every play, every hit. I mean, you might as well be on the sidelines. That's how clear it is. It's all thanks to LG's legendary technology. Perfect black, over 8.3 million self-lit pixels. No one comes close. LG OLED Evo is the best TV in the game for a reason. See for yourself at lg.com/OLED Evo.
I'm home. Hey, Mom, before you ask, I've done my homework and the dishwasher's unloaded.
Nice. Hey, can you... Hey, hon, yes, I've got the finale ready to play. Here's your wine.
Wow. Isn't it nice not having to ask? We think so. That's why if there's a network interruption, AT&T will proactively credit you for a full day of service, guaranteed. Credit for fiber downtime lasting 20 minutes or more, or for wireless downtime lasting 60 minutes or more caused by a single incident impacting 10 or more towers. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for details.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman here. As the official pitmaster of the Dallas Cowboys, you know I take cookware seriously, especially when it comes to America's team. So when the Cowboys are away, I'm putting my Yeti cast iron skillets to work to make my game day favorites for friends and family. I'm talking chicken fried steak, skillet queso, and peach cobbler. And just like the Cowboys are forever, so are these heirloom cast iron skillets. Check out the full line of skillets on Yeti.com or at a Yeti store near you.
If you shout, "How about them Cowboys?" you have that undeniable passion that's the heart of Cowboys Nation. And if you like to drink Dr. Pepper, you love the unique blend of its 23 flavors. Together, your one-of-a-kind fandom paired with the one-of-a-kind taste of a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper is the game day lineup that can't be beat. Better yet, gather your Cowboys and Dr. Pepper fan friends to watch the next game and crack open a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper for everyone. The wins will be even tastier. It's a Pepper thing.
Don't put off getting your oil change, Dallas. Take 5 Oil Change, a proud partner of the Cowboys, is faster than you think. They're so fast, you don't even have to get out of your car. You can take advantage of Take 5's stay-in-your-car 10-minute oil change at any of their locations across the Dallas area. And remember, at Take 5, you stay in your car because they're faster than you think. That means you won't even have time to show off your best touchdown celebration. Take 5, the official oil change of the Dallas Cowboys.
Back to the break.
Choose perfection. Choose LG OLED Evo. Check out the best TV in the game at LG.com.
Welcome back.
To the Voch Lombardi show.
Yeah.
You damn straight. Go, I'm sorry, man.
Second segment of the show, live from SWBC Mortgage Studios at the Star. This segment brought to you by blockchain.com. Bryan, Broaddus, take this away.
Derek Eagleton.
All right.
Through 2 weeks, better get Williams the running back or Clark the defensive tackle. 2 weeks, better get Williams the running back or Clark the defensive tackle.
I love both of them.
I didn't ask you.
I'm setting it up, bro.
Boom.
Let me set it up.
Talk to him.
I love both of them. I think both of them
you
are
too.
very productive.
Yeah.
But I think Kenny Clark is more of a difference-making player because of the position he plays and the problems his team has had in the past. This last week, run defense ain't a problem.
Okay.
Like last week, I thought the run defense did pretty good.
I'm with you.
That ain't been the case the last couple years.
Yep.
Kenny Clark is the difference there. So I thought coming into this year, let's also be clear, and you and I said this last year, we both thought that Rico Dowdle, the problem wasn't Rico Dowdle.
Right.
The problem was they weren't running the ball enough.
Weren't running the ball enough. Right.
So I don't think last year was a matter of the running back was a problem. Javonte Williams has been great. I think he's really good. He's what this team needs. But I think Kenny Clark has fixed a problem, or at least is appearing to, after 2 weeks, fix a problem that they have not been able to fix for a long time.
AG, better through 2 weeks, Williams your running back or Kenny Clark your defensive tackle?
I mean, I like the argument.
He didn't ask you that.
Nobody's talking to you right now. He moved on to me now, okay?
Just saying. It's good for me. It's good for you.
See what you've done, Lombardi.
This is the kind of show we got today.
Yeah,
It's combative.
exactly.
As we can tell, this
All
is a
right,
combative show.
let me just go the other way.
This don't bother me.
Do you want to go the other way?
Yeah, why not? I'll make the argument for the other way.
All right.
I do agree with the run defense definitely improving a whole lot with that addition there at defensive tackle. But at the same time, Williams, how many points has he scored for you? And I
3
see
touchdowns, right?
Touchdown, 21.
And I see the difference when they make that switch in running back to Miles Sanders. Not that he doesn't have it.
She on Miles now. Okay.
That's fair.
I'm just saying.
I'm
just
with you.
saying.
I like the way you haven't said
Go ahead.
anything
That's fair.
unfair.
Okay.
You have not said
That
anything
is
unfair.
Right now, Williams, I think he has done a very nice job.
Facts.
Whether or not they were running the ball last year, the point is he's being utilized and he has taken those opportunities because even last year when they did run the ball at times, you saw it struggle. The running game was struggling at times. Some other times it was successful. But I think I like what I've seen so far. Would love to see the incorporation of Blue into the mix. But until then, right now, let's give Williams a vote and we'll let Voch be the tiebreaker.
Let's see if we can
Go for it, Voch.
I tell you what, man. I think Javonte is benefiting a bunch from Clayton Adams, Schottenheimer, and his willingness to run the football, the creativity that they're doing, what his offensive line is, able to do in the middle, pushing guys around. I think there's a lot of things that's helping Javonte. And he does whoop ass on the back end of it. Let me tell you something, man. Kenny Clark's so good, and he's so different than what you've had in A-Gap. And he's more than just run down. This is what Kenny Clark does. Not only does he whoop his double teams and he beats one-on-ones, but Solomon Thomas was your starting one tech. Solomon like 305.
Exactly.
Now,
if that.
Yeah. Now,
By the way, he's a massive man, but little for that position.
Yeah.
Now Solomon Thomas is mostly a B-gap guy, where he belongs. So Kenny Clark being here allows Solomon Thomas to play at home and sometimes edge. And what he's been doing is beating the crap out of guards, and sometimes when they line him up at edge, he's whooping tight ends, making plays in the run game. So Kenny Clark is making it comfortable for everybody else around him. Kenneth Murray played a much better game this week than last week. A lot of that had to do with Kenny Clark being turbulent right in front of him, and I can make an argument that Osa being a little bit better, because if they got to decide to double team somebody, they don't want to leave Clark one-on-one. So Osa's had a lot more one-on-one opportunities. Clark is just feeding the neighborhood, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going Kenny Clark for the tiebreaker. Me and Derek Eagleton are right. Amber's wrong.
There you go.
Hold on.
2-1.
Brian,
What's the fun of everybody picking the same person? Okay, I'm just doing it for the fun of the show.
Fair. That's
okay.
good. I appreciate that. And our listeners appreciate
So you wanted to pick Kenny, but just for the sake of arguments, you wanted. Man, ain't nothing wrong with
if
that.
you want to be boring, go be
Ain't nothing
boring.
wrong. I've never done a boring. Go ahead, Brian, please.
AG.
Oh boy.
My biggest fear is that the run defense has improved to the point that opponents just decide to throw the ball on them. What's your biggest fear about this defense?
It's funny because it's
That's
just all
crazy.
like we haven't heard that in 20 years. Like that's crazy. But go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, my biggest fear, and
Yeah.
we talked about this a little bit in training camp, though, a little bit about my biggest fear was that they were just that you're, and I was worried about the secondary more than I was the pass rush. But AG, my biggest fear is the run defense has improved enough to where teams just say it ain't worth it. We're going to just throw the ball on you. What's your biggest fear?
Shoot. I mean, I saw some of those passes right. If we were sitting at the press box to Malik neighbors, to neighbors right there, you're like, wow. My biggest fear
about the defense.
About the defense specifically.
This is through 2 weeks or going forward.
I mean, I would say rushing the passer.
Sure.
I think a lot of areas that you're currently struggling with the defense overall, by you adding and creating that pass, like rushing the passer, it's gonna allow for other areas to improve.
Corners play better, safeties play
exactly.
better.
So I'm hoping that by you fixing that, I think that's the point where you can attack and hopefully ease the rest of the defense. So my biggest fear, I would say, is that you're unable to make up for that pass rusher that you traded for. Traded with.
Trade away.
Traded away. Thank you very much. I think that's my biggest fear, that we kind of get to the end of the year and we're like, wow, we really miss Micah Parsons on that defense.
How about you there, Coach Lombardi?
One day I'm going to ask y'all if y'all think that if Michael was here, the run defense will still be as good. But that's a whole nother conversation. I'm just asking questions. I'm just there. You shaking your head, but I think that's a conversation we could have one day. If I have a fear, is that even with adding Clowney, that they still can't get to the quarterback there. You know, we were watching Giants film, Bryan, and look, man, people get on to us about us, breaking things down. But Elaminor wasn't good.
No, he wasn't.
Marcus Mbo was the third guy, but even with him being the third guy, James Hudson was not good. There's film evidence of John Michael Smith being terrible versus Mozzie. You can't have these guys blocking you up front. Right. So now I'm thinking maybe it's like a talent issue or whatever. So, as I just said Micah's name, he would definitely help you in the pass rush department, right? But what you at least have to do is, Dante, you're here to rush the passer. So in pass rush situations, sir, can you please do that? And if that's not going to be the case, then now we're looking at Flus like, hey, the guys that we have, you can't get pressure with 4. So I guess my biggest fear is that Flus makes no adjustments as far as pass rush goes and pass coverage goes.
Yeah, mine is similar, but I would say it from this standpoint. He is not, and I'm talking about Flus. Flus has not traditionally been a coordinator that likes to blitz.
Sure.
He typically likes to rush with 4. When you start asking him to do now what he's not comfortable doing or what he doesn't do regularly, does that create a bigger problem? Because now he's doing something that's outside of his wheelhouse, outside of maybe what his defense even is really meant to do.
Prep for. Mm-hmm.
And then you start creating all these holes that create much bigger gashes in your defense. So that's where I'm a little bit more concerned because quite frankly, I know you mentioned Clowney. I think Clowney comes in and I think he helps you in the run defense, which makes what has been a pretty good run defense even better. So great. I don't know that he's going to give you a ton in pass rush. And I look at all these other guys right now. To me, the only hope they have from the front 4 is that as the season goes on, Sam coming back from injury gets better. Ezaraku as a rookie, as the season goes on, gets better. Fowler steps up and becomes the rusher that he was last year. If you can get those guys to ascend to what you need them to be, which, by the way, all of them have ability. We have to see them put it on the field. But that's really, in my opinion, your best hope, because I just don't necessarily want to put all my faith in the fact that they can solve this problem by blitzing when that's just not what this defense necessarily has traditionally done. It doesn't mean he can't do. He hasn't traditionally done that.
If Flus is going to be the coach here calling plays, he can't be uncomfortable making changes. That just is what it is. And look, if it's uncomfortable calling blitzes, it's real uncomfortable getting fired. I've been fired before. That ain't comfortable.
Have you?
So I've been fired a whole bunch.
Really?
But it's all right.
What'd you do? We got to talk about it. No, I'm just playing. I don't want to talk about it on there.
It's a great story. I told it on YouTube many times, but it's all good. Go ahead.
Okay, Voch, I'll come back to you for this one.
For sure.
George Pickens will be the best Cowboys receiver these next 3 games.
Ooh.
Well, Brian, I think it's going to be hard to take that away from 88. You know, seeing that the whole offense is like revolving around 88, but it could come down to matchups, though, Brian. It depends on what these other teams do. You know, versus the Bears, their All-Pro corner Jalen Johnson is hurt, right? And if the Bears do what they've been doing, which is just play their corners and not really move them, and the Cowboys kind of do what they do, which is move Lamb but not really move Pickens, then Pickens get the run against Nashawn Wright for 4 quarters, and that sounds like fun to me. I don't quite think that it'll be that much change that CD turns into wide receiver 2, but I do think you'll get a lot more from Pickens in the coming weeks than you have.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. The next 3 weeks can we see him being the best receiver?
It'll be more, but I don't know if better than Lamb is a thing right now.
How about you there, Derek?
I was looking up the schedule, and I see where you're going with this, Brian. You're not clever. They got the Packers, they got the Bears, they got the Jets, and the Panthers. I know there's Sauce in New York, and Horn in Carolina.
JC. Yep.
Now I don't need. Sorry, I mean Alexander. I don't. Is he still great enough where they're just gonna put him on CD and just kind of?
Jair played for.
No, he plays. No, he's gone. He's gone.
He's gone.
Who is their top corner in Green Bay?
Man, what's the name?
Why would you ask that question?
Well,
because I haven't got there yet.
The point I was making is I see what you're saying. The next 4 games, now Jalen Johnson is out in Chicago,
right?
Which he is an All-Pro cornerback.
Right.
That would have made, and then I would have been like, okay, so 3 of the next 4, you're playing some of the best cornerbacks in the league. They may say, hey, I'll let you try to deal with CD, and the Cowboys say it's easier for us just to take what's there for us.
Nixon and Hobbs are the 2 starters right now in Green Bay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think either one of them is so great to where I look at them and say they can shut down CD and the Cowboys will say we won't take that matchup.
Yeah.
Maybe you say that with Sauce. I don't know. Maybe you say that with Horn. I don't know that I say that either. Like, I think CD is so good. What we saw in this last game, in that 4th quarter, there were a couple times they threw into double coverage and completed them. That's how much they believe in CD. So I don't believe there's really a team that necessarily makes the Cowboys say, we're not going to go to CD. We will opt to go to Pickens. I think CD's always going to be a target for the Cowboys. They're always going to have him in the offense. They're always going to plan to go to him throughout the game. And Pickens will be when we have opportunities to get him involved and when we have opportunities where we know that CD on this play is going to have just the coverage that doesn't make sense for us to try, we'll go over to Pickens. But I don't think there will – I think most games this year, I expect CD to lead the team.
How about you, AG? Next 3 weeks, George Pickens is going to be your best Cowboys receiver.
I would love to go against what you both said, but this is one I will not. This is one, nah. Because I'm thinking, like, when has wide receiver number 2 ever taken, like, the shine away from CD in the time that he has been here? I don't recall that really happening.
You never had one that's this good.
No, never to this level. But even then, I have a hard time thinking that's going to happen. I do think Pickens is going to get a lot more involved. He's going to get the ball thrown his way a lot more, but not to the point where it just takes away from CD getting the ball.
You know, I'll throw this out there too. I actually think where Pickens is going to make his bones this year is really in the red zone and in the end zone. I think he's going to have, when it's all said and done, I would not be shocked if he leads a team in touchdown catches, because I think his ability to go up and get the ball, his ability to catch bad balls, his ability to contort his body to make catches, I think that makes him a weapon in the red zone and certainly in the end zone. So I would not be shocked if he leads in touchdowns. I still think the majority of the targets, receptions, and yards are going to go to CD Lamb.
I will say, I'll answer my own question. I say the next 3 weeks he'll be the best Cowboys receiver.
All right.
And I say statistically, when we look at all these games, and hopefully they're all Cowboy victories along the way, I think George Pickens is going to be a big reason why. I think when you watch him play and you watch how my man goes down the field, he gets pass interference called on him every single time.
Yeah.
People have trouble with him. I think last week unlocked something for him. I think it unlocked something on Shoddy's play call sheet. Like, okay, I need to think about this now. I need to think going into a game plan of getting George. He made some clutch catches. CD makes clutch catches too. Don't get me wrong about that. But I think they're going to find a way to get George Pickens even more involved.
All right, so I got George Pickens on my fantasy team. So you saying I need to start him the next 3 weeks?
I play him this week for sure.
Don't ever listen to me for fantasy advice, but just me personally, I think last week's game was a huge signal to not only George Pickens but the coaching staff that there needs to be more of that football on a weekly basis.
And Dak.
All right, we are going to take our final break. We will come back. Brian has more questions, I think, for us. So we'll keep going down this list.
Oh, no, I'm done.
You're done?
Yeah, you answered my BB question, and I had a Matt Eberflus question, but you guys kind of talked about that as well.
All right, well, we'll find
Gonna think of something.
Actually, I have a segment for us. We'll do a segment called Shining Star or Falling Star. We'll do that when we come back. DallasCowboys.com radio.
Every day begins with a promise to work hard and to build a future. That's why we're here, providing the tools, expertise, and John Deere equipment you have relied on for generations to help you get the job done right. We're with you. That's our promise to you, because no matter the project or the challenge you're facing,
we're with you. We're united.
I'm home. Hey, Mom, before you ask, I've done my homework and the dishwasher's unloaded.
Nice. Hey, can you... Hey, hon, yes, I've got the finale ready to play. Here's your wine.
Wow. Isn't it nice not having to ask? We think so. That's why if there's a network interruption, AT&T will proactively credit you for a full day of service, guaranteed. Credit for fiber downtime lasting 20 minutes or more, or for wireless downtime lasting 60 minutes or more caused by a single incident impacting 10 or more towers. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for details.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
How's it going? You see that Cowboys game?
Oh, I watched. Been seeing some good things.
Totally. They have some talent.
Yup, some great talent.
And they got some fight.
Hoping this is the year.
Me too. Oh, I'm Cody, by the way.
I'm Travis.
Nice to meet you, Travis. Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys!
Make a new friend based solely on their shirt choice. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. Copyright 2025, Bank of America Corporation.
From the field to the festivities, Lucchese embodies the essence of luxury and tradition. Handcrafted with meticulous precision, each pair offers unmatched comfort and style. Stand tall while you're tailgating or cheering in the stands with the Dallas Cowboys collection by Lucchese. Shop the collection today at the Lucchese store at the Star in Frisco or online at lucchese.com. Lucchese, the official boot of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders.
Back to the break.
AT&T connecting changes everything.
What y'all laughing at?
Yeah, what y'all laughing about?
Chris, he's just like, go. Like, I don't know, or just go.
That's our producer, for those that don't know. That's
Be
Chris,
ready, man.
the great Chris Beam, running the board back there for us. Thank you for all you do, Chris. I appreciate your work. Let's go on to the final segment here of the Break Live from SWBC Mortgage Studios at the Star. I got a segment for you guys. I always come ready. I'm always ready. So we're going to do a little segment called Shining Star or Falling Star. I'm going to throw out some names. You guys are going to tell me whether you think over 2 games they are a shining star for the Cowboys or they are a falling, fading star for the Cowboys. Let's start first.
This is the 3-week version or the 2-week version? Or is this overall?
Overall.
Okay.
So I'm saying overall for this season.
Overall for this season.
What we've seen in 2 games. What do you think?
Okay. Okay.
Solomon Thomas.
Like I mentioned earlier, Solomon has gone back home. He's out of A-gap. I think Solomon is shining, and I think he's only going to get better playing in B-gap and playing at edge.
Coach White Cotton has helped him a lot. He's got that understanding. I think there's a really good marriage between the two. I think Voch is right about playing him. He doesn't have to worry about playing as that nose tackle and kind of getting beat up and taking on the blocks that way. Training camp was really, really good for him. He's one of the guys that you saw in training camp carry it into the season. So tip of the cap to him, Coach White Cotton, those guys for the way they're playing with him.
Shine.
All right. Trayvon Diggs.
Man, he falling, man. You know what I'm saying? It's strange because, would he be shining if circumstances were different? Would he be shining if the pass rush was a little better? If, different looks were given, would he be shining if 11 was here? I mean, there's a lot of different questions, but just as of now being, black and white about it, I think Diggs had a weird little game versus a top-tier corner. I mean, a top-tier receiver. About even, but is looking more down than up.
I'm going to say up still. And, man, I'm saying this with the fact that maybe every week the injury, he might have lost something with the speed. He might, the catch-up speed and stuff like that. Gut feeling is we're going to see him play better because I think they're going to change the scheme up. I don't think they're going to ask him to do is what they're, and I think they're worried. They were worried about their corners going into this thing. And maybe they're trying to protect him a little bit, but, man, people are running on him. I think if you let him play press and then run with people, don't play with depth. I think they're going to make some adjustments where they're going to play a little bit more press. Maybe they stay in their cover two. I'm going to say just through this now as we speak, I think the injury is going to help him, or he's going to improve from the injury, and I think they're going to play a different technique with him, and I think that'll help him.
I think for me, this is an interesting one because I feel like with Diggs, my bar has been kind of readjusted, but not in a good way. I think that over the course of the last few months, just in general, I think going back to last year too, my bar started lowering. So right now he is above where my bar was set. But then again, I had to lower it.
I need to go to the bar now to understand this.
It's a little confusing. But
so you say the bar did what now? It was where?
It was up here before. It got lowered. But now he's past that mark. But it's still lower than what it was initially.
What it was at first.
Follow along, please.
So are you going to raise the bar?
I don't know. My expectations just got lowered. I don't know what to tell you. Like, yes, it should be higher. The bar should be higher.
You guys might be absolutely right. I'm just thinking that maybe you got to look at a player like that. And if I'm the general manager, I say, hey, is there anything we could do to help him? Is there anything we could do to help any of our corners? Is there something we could do technique-wise or some scheme-wise we could do? That's the questions you kind of need to ask. If he comes back and says, no, this is the way we play it, then I think about getting a new defensive coordinator. You need guys like Diggs and Elam and those guys right now to play at a level where they're just not getting smoked out there.
Let me rephrase what I said real quick. Just for Voch understanding.
We understand.
Let me rephrase it. Hold on. But based on the injury and him coming back, I think he's done a nice job.
Draw size a little bit.
But based on his career and where he should be at in his career, the level should be better.
Can I throw this out? I look at it and I say, everybody except for Booker, you probably look at it this last game and say, not great as far as secondary, linebacker, in coverage. Does that point to more of an issue, as you've been saying, Bryan, with the scheme, with the coaching? Because it's one thing if you've got a player who's having problems.
Right.
If everybody's having problems, at some point you look at it and say, what's the common denominator? And that's more about the scheme and the coaching than it is maybe about the individual player.
Yeah.
So maybe we should slow down a little bit on making a declarative statement about Diggs, Elam, Donovan, all these guys, because it's not just them. It is an across-the-board problem, and that makes me think there may be something going on more from the standpoint of them really understanding and buying into what they're being asked to do. Maybe that's more the issue than their own ability.
But if you look at overall the spirit of the game, it looks star down right now, or it looks like if you just look at what they're asking to do, it's not great, and it's not great for Elam. It's not great for Wilson. It's not great for any of these guys.
I get it.
Yeah.
All right, next one, Tyler Booker. Shining star, fading star.
Book's looking he's looking like a high level young dude right now, making some mistakes here or there, but he's still Book. Like when he's good, he's moving bodies, falling on people, fantastic. When he's bad, it's like these small slants up front, gap exchange, but those are things that he can fix with just time and experience. But you don't have a problem with him looking small or not looking powerful or anything like that. It's just the mental things. I think that'll be good by November or something, but Book's on his way up.
I think Book's on his way up too. I think Voch pointed something out really You know, the thing with the gap exchange stuff has been a little bit of a problem for him. And I'm not going to act like he didn't see that stuff at Alabama, but man, that was stuff that was kind of carrying over in training camp. And then there were some opportunities where he played and they ran some stuff up front, and the movement was a problem that way. So it's going to be about experience, but I would say the star up there, man. I like having him at right guard. I really do.
Agree with everything you guys said. I think the same thing. He's still a rookie. Like, you got to give there's still learning curve that needs to occur there, but so far he looks the part, and I think he will be a great fit for the Cowboys for years to come.
Tyler Guyton.
Rising?
Here, so look,
Slowly?
Tyler Guyton, relative to where he was last year,
is rising.
Totally a different. He's skyrocketing.
That's what we're looking for. Yeah,
he's skyrocketing relative to who he was old school, two hands last year. Now we kung fu fighting up there. He's much different. But Brian Burns is a tall task for a player that's still learning, and he still got some bad habits. Getting better relative to way. So like Ambar said, the bar.
Now you want to copy my
Wait, you lowered his bar?
No. I'm saying his bar was so low.
Okay, I got you. Coming out of last year, yeah.
It was so low.
Yeah.
But now I'm raising it, and you could look down from where he was last week, but the competition's so different. Yeah. But as a whole, keep going up, keep getting better. Brian Burns is just a hell of a
what's the
matchup.
bar? I'm confused.
The bar was Ambar. Listen, pay attention, okay? Pay attention, okay? Escuchar, okay? Escuchar. It was down here. And it was down, but then the bar went up, but he's still going up.
Oh, okay.
But it still ain't as high as you, because Tyron is up here, but Guyton is there, and he's still going up.
You said Tyron?
Tyron Smith. See, because
Tyron. Okay,
Sometimes,
I thought you were talking about
happen,
Tyler. Yeah, got you.
So sometimes what happened is, okay, you're the new Tyron Smith. Be up here, but he ain't gonna be Tyron Smith.
No.
So Guyton, from where he was last year, high improvement. This week, he got whooped real bad, but that's Brian Burns. But in the grand scheme, he is getting much better.
And to be quiet as kept, Tyron Smith, his rookie year, he had some
little
moments. He had some moments. So, it happens. Like, you have to learn the game. You really have to learn the game.
Go watch the Wall 2.0 documentary that we just put out.
I actually know somebody that was on that project.
Man, I'm trying to get on it so I can get an Emmy. Maybe next time.
I think Voch is absolutely right. I think that, to me, that he's just going to need to keep playing. And him, Booker, those guys, they just got to keep playing. Worry a little bit about what Steele's going on with Steele. That's never going to change. But you're going to see improvement with your left tackle and your right guard. You'll see improvement from those guys.
Yeah, I think he's slowly rising. I wouldn't say skyrocketed, but for me, I think the thing with him, when you look at someone that plays that position and has the size that he has, so tall, but not super wide, it can look a little weird. It can look a little off, but this year I do think he started off, even back at training camp, just looking more comfortable, looking like he belongs there, and just with more ease and taking over of taking some charge there with confidence. But I think, there's still a lot of room for improvement.
Amber, that's really a fantastic point, because Tyler Guyton being so tall, when you don't bend at the knees, you look goofy. When you lean forward, you look kind of hunchbacky, but you look more powerful when you bend at the knees and not the waist. So that's a fantastic point.
Yeah, it's one of those.
You.
It's one of those interesting things. When we're talking about the offensive line, I got a little bit. I got a little bit jaded this week because I went back and I kind of watched the film. Like I said, okay, give me in next gen. I said, give me all the plays that the Cowboys were under pressure.
Yeah.
And so I'm watching them back to back to back to back, and I'm like,
it looks bad. Yeah,
man, wow. But then you put it in the context of the whole game, and I went back and just watched the whole game.
Yeah.
Then you're like, well, they actually did pretty good. These were the bad plays, and if you just look at the bad plays, there was some moments, but overall, you look at it. Now, I do think, but for the fact that they got, in my opinion, one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League.
I was about to say, click that thing on Next Gen and go all of Dak's completions.
Yeah.
That'll make you feel better.
Dak was killing it, and he was killing it under pressure. Like Dak has had 2 weeks of really, 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 really great football. He has had outstanding football these last 2 weeks.
Dak got really good of just finding timing of I know the hit is coming and just wait last minute. Pickens down the field, Lamb downfield, Lamb again downfield, Ferguson down the field. So if he's gonna get hit, I might as well wait to that last second to get as much yards as I could possibly get.
That's the experience of having that's where the benefit of having an experienced quarterback really matters. All right, we appreciate you guys joining us. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll start talking about Cowboys. Who's up next?
Bears.
Cowboys
offense.
Bears. We'll talk about the Bears offense against the Cowboys defense. Till then, for Voch, Lombardi, Bryan, Broaddus, and Ambar Garcia, I'm Derek Eagleton. This has been The Break, live on DallasCowboys.com radio.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club. How about this,